What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and enjoy some Canadian TikToks. You never quite know what you're gonna get with the Canadian TikToks, but honestly, that's part of the fun. And I just enjoy checking in, every month or so and seeing what the most popular Canadian TikToks are. They can get a little unhinged, from time to time, but I like to think we all, buckle in together and just see what the Canadian internet has for us. Oftentimes it's educational, stuff you didn't even know if you wanted to know or not, and it's usually quite funny. So, with that in mind, let's take a look. This first one is Tell Me You're Canadian without telling me you're Canadian. Okay.
Tell me you're Canadian without telling me you're Canadian.
Oh my god. Wait, what? Wait, what? Like, my knee-jerk instinct is to think this is fake, because this is impossible. Like, I know this can't, happen often, I don't think. I guess I don't know for sure, but the package is literally like a foot under solid ice. Oh yeah, just a common Canadian occurrence, right? Oh, he's actually getting it out. Wait a minute. Wait, oh, pro. Okay, I thought it was, deep. Like, the pack, I mean, it's still amazing and kind of scary that this could even happen. But it's like, your package can actually get frozen to the ground. Like, he needed whatever the heck he had there, some kind of Canadian tool or weapon, or, just a shovel, otherwise known as a shovel. But the fact that he even had to do that to dig out his package is very Canadian, is the only way I can describe it. What the heck? Oh my, I've never seen that. Ever. I like to think that just happens all the time in Canada, right? That is something else. Like, I guess, I think they must have left it out right before a winter storm or blizzard. Like, does that actually common? That your packages can get, under the snow like that, or ice? That's kind of blowing my mind. Okay, good start. Next, what do we have? 5 misconceptions about Canada. And goodness knows, there are a lot of misconceptions Americans in particular definitely have about Canada.
These are 5 things that people who are mostly Americans think about Canada that are just straight up not true.
Yeah.
First, we don't say Canadian bacon, all right? This is pea-meal bacon, back bacon, or just straight up ham. Don't pin that star-spangled bullshit on us, all right?
Whoa, okay. I don't know what I think of Canadian bacon. It's certainly something I've heard about. I don't know what Canadians think about it, although this Canadian very clearly doesn't like that Americans call it that. But to be honest, I don't think Americans eat Canadian bacon very much. I think it's ham, or I'm not exactly sure what Canadian bacon is, but that alone should tell you it's not really a big part of American life. It's just like this random thing some Americans have and no one really knows what it is. That's the best way I can describe it. It might be ham, but obviously it seems Canadians don't claim this as their own and don't call it this at all.
You guys are the weird ones. Second, and I'm really sorry about this one, but we actually don't apologize for everything.
What?
Again, I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is, bud. Third, it's...
Wait, is he trolling? Is he joking? Because he literally apologized twice whilst saying he does not apologize.
I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is, bud. Third,
Okay.
It's actually not winter all the time here. I actually got to throw a t-shirt and shorts on the other day because it was a solid 10 degrees out. Hell, that's a balmy day in April, bud. I'll tell you that right now.
I feel like this is both funny and true-ish. Like, I think as far as Americans think, Canada, Americans think Canada is in permanent winter. And while the winters are more severe and longer in Canada, I think I've learned that much. It's not permanent winter. I mean, maybe if you went north enough, but that's what Americans really think of, and that's certainly just an exaggeration. So, yeah. And I do think it's funny. He's kind of saying, well, also, Canadians' threshold for what is warm is a lot bigger than Americans. Like, Americans need to be basically sweating to think it's actually hot out.
Now, fourth, our capital city is not Toronto.
Yes.
Okay? As much as Toronto likes to think that they're the most important city in Canada,
Oh.
the rest of Canada just treats them like a redheaded stepchild and pretends that they don't exist. And
Oh, wow. Okay. Shots fired at Toronto. I do have to say, most Americans, most definitely, the vast majority of Americans think Toronto is the capital of Canada. I don't know how that happened. I don't know why Toronto is spoken so much. At least the name. Like, most Americans, when they think about Toronto, no image comes into their mind. Like, they probably haven't seen any pictures or video of it. Probably haven't gone out of their way to do that. But as far as Canadian cities that are spoken, the name is spoken, Toronto is number one. I don't know why that is. Obviously, I think it's Canada's biggest city, so that makes sense. Kind of like how New York is talked about a lot in America. But it's also funny just hearing his kind of, I don't know, view of Toronto as a Canadian. A little bit of, I don't know. Is there a little bit of tension there? I can't tell.
don't exist. And lastly, we're really not that nice, bud. Hell, talking shit is basically a national pastime at this point. If you've ever had a conversation with a Canadian and it seemed like they were being really nice to you, it's probably because they didn't want to fucking talk to you to begin with and just wanted the conversation to be over faster. Oh, and
No, don't ruin my whole worldview of the polite, kind Canadian. No, I mean, I'm sure this is true. Like, and I'm also sure it's not true. Just, people are people. Canadians are just people, and there's going to be some Canadians who are polite because they're polite people. I honestly think that's most Canadians are extraordinarily kind, especially compared to the rest of the world and a certain country that I live in. And, but of course, there's going to be people who, just like Americans, some are kind. Some are being kind just as a formality, and they want you to kind of leave them alone. And there's some people who are not going to be kind. And yeah, this doesn't blow my mind, but I can't believe there are some Canadians who aren't polite. What?
you to begin with and just wanted the conversation to be over faster. Oh, and so if you're still here, check out the merch site. There's some good shit on there, bud. Copy613.com. Okay, thanks, bye.
Okay. Nice. You never know what you're going to get with the Canadian TikToks. That's for sure. Next we have, what do other countries think about Canadians? This is a fascinating one. I think most countries have a very, very, very positive opinion of Canada. Canada is literally one of those countries that is like kind of loved by the world, I think. If you're Canadian and you travel throughout the planet, most people will, if they see your backpack has a Canadian flag, will be like, oh, nice. Like, I like you. You're probably good. I've definitely heard that before. You don't want to be mistaken as an American when you're a tourist out there. Or there might be a stigma, possibly deserved.
What are some misconceptions that you had about Canada before you moved here?
That they're too similar to the U.S., but they're not. They're far from the U.S.
Oh, I feel.
Oh, wow. I think that's a good one because I have heard this sentiment. I've heard from Canadians that Canadians really do not enjoy being lumped in with America. And I totally get it. Canada is so different. It's so much its own culture that it's honestly disrespectful to lump it in with the United States And I can say that as an American, like, I think that's not right. And we shouldn't be lumped in with Canadians. Canadians should not be lumped in with Americans. I just know Canadians in particular, in a funny way, don't like that. They kind of like traveling as a tourist and wanting people to know, no, I'm Canadian. I'm not American. Like, just making that clear.
They're not. They're far from the U.S.
Oh, I feel like it's the other way around. Like, I expected it to be less like the US, but it's similar to the US.
Was there anything that was
Wow.
weird about Canadians?
Wow. So she thought it was. I could see how someone could kind of make that observation. Because for some people, maybe if they're like on the internet or something, they can find all like research in Canada, especially if you're outside of North America and you're researching Canada and the United States and you're reading all these things of how they're different cultures. And then when you get there, if that's your perspective, that Canada and America are wildly different, then you're going to be like, oh, that's not quite true. Like, we all speak the same language and kind of have the same stuff and, a lot of the same humor and TV shows and, a lot of things we do share. Like, there's no denying it. But at the same time, when you can turn that coin on the other side and see the flip side, where it's like the other guy went in thinking America, United States, and Canada are very, very, very similar. But when you actually go and live it, it's like, no, it's quite different. So, I don't know. I know I'm kind of contradicting myself, but we're so similar in so many ways and so different in so many unique and interesting ways. Maybe that's the best way to say it.
Just like the bread that had like 4 grams of sugar per slice.
We're
What?
fat over here.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Is she talking about Canada? The bread, I didn't.
Just like the
I was going off on a tangent and suddenly we're talking about bread, but I'm not mad.
US.
Was there anything that was weird about Canadians?
Just like the bread that had like 4 grams of sugar
Oh.
per slice.
We're fat over here.
Oh! Okay, is he talking about America? But Canada has really sugary bread? Nice. Good. Good news for me. Did this convince you to book a flight north? Oh, Canada bucket list. Okay. Where? Banff. Banff. Vancouver. Oh, man. These are good. These are like, well, actually, Banff is not known in America. I was going to say these are pretty famous, but I actually have gone out of my way to look up Banff and react to it. So I know, like, it's literally incredible. Most Americans never heard of it. I had never heard of it till, recently. Vancouver, Niagara Falls, Toronto, Okanagan Valley, I've never heard of. Looks absolutely beautiful. Wow. What? Is this like a farm or? Okay. Wow. Old Quebec. Old Quebec? Is that distinct from other parts of Quebec? Old Quebec? I'm a little confused. Is that a certain part of the city or? Looks very nice. I kind of thought all of Quebec was pretty historical and whatnot. Whistler? Is that a mountain? Very cool. Parliament Hill? Is that in Ottawa? Like the capital? I'm pleasantly surprised. There's a lot of places on this bucket list I am not familiar with. After they covered the kind of obvious ones, Vancouver, Toronto. Jasper National Park. Wow. No, I haven't seen this national park. Old Montreal. What makes it Old Quebec or Old Montreal? Is that like a naming convention, or is that like part of the city is named that, perhaps? See, see, it's like beautiful city, beautiful park, beautiful city, polar bear. See polar bears in Manitoba, definitely on the bucket list. Victoria Inner Harbor. Victoria Inner Harbor. I've heard of Victoria. I recently did a video about the most beautiful places in Canada, or places you'd most want to live in Canada, and Victoria came up quite a bit. And I mean, I totally get it. It's beautiful. Gros Morne National Park, another national park I haven't heard of. Oh, it's by the ocean as well. That's very striking. This almost looks like, I would have thought this was like some fancy part of like the Scottish Highlands or something. No, it's in Canada. That's what more Americans need to get. That there are these incredible places in Canada that look insane. Try poutine. This is a bucket list. Try poutine. Very nice. Very good. Good list. A lot of stuff I hadn't seen. Very nice. Canadian words that confuse Americans. Nice. I'm ready to be confused. I'm ready.
Canadian words that confuse Americans, part 2. Have you guys seen my toque?
The toque. The toque.
Oh my god.
Your toque?
Dude.
Oh, is she talking to Americans? That's funny. The toque. I had to specifically look up what a toque meant. I thought it was called a toque. But Americans, yeah, no clue what this meant.
What?
The hat with the ball. The hat with the ball.
Alex, you want some pop?
You mean soda?
Pop.
Here, you.
Pop. Some parts of America apparently say pop. Nowhere I've ever lived. Soda. Some parts of America apparently say Coke. Like pop is Coke. Soda means Coke. Like, not the brand. Like, they actually call it that as a noun. And I don't know. That's America for you.
Use my toonie.
Toonie. Toonie. That would be me. It's like, no matter how many times I hear some of these words, they're just not things I grew up with. Like toque, and toonie. They do sound like just, I won't say silly, but like, if you've never heard the word toonie in your life, and you suddenly start saying it and hearing it, it's like, I'm sorry, it does sound a little funny. What is a toonie? Yeah. Oh man.
I gotta organize my notes in a duotang.
Duotang. Sounds familiar. I don't know what that is.
Duotang? This is a duotang.
What?
Oh, it's a folder. Folder?
Oh, a folder. Duotang? Like you open it and there's two sides, or duotang? That sounds a bit extreme.
Barely know her. Oh, God.
Okay, nice. Definitely stuff Americans don't know. I didn't know half of that stuff for like my whole life, up until my adult life, basically. This is Americans in Canada. Okay. All right, here we go.
Yo, can you grab some milk, please?
Yeah, for sure.
In the bag.
What the hell is this?
Milk.
In a bag?
This would literally be like Americans' reactions. If they somehow got to Canada and you were able to hand them a bag of milk, like I would almost drop it. I'd be like, what? It'd be like jiggling. I'd be like, what is this? Like, what? It's that unexpected. The whole bags of milk thing.
What's wrong with you people? That's gross. Oh, damn it. I can't afford to see a doctor right now.
Healthcare's free here, bud.
Really?
Oh.
Oh, damn. Where's the doctor? I got a few things.
Oh my gosh. Yep. Classic. Yeah, it's like Americans will put up with a lot. Like, it's kind of sad. Americans will put up with a lot of stuff to not see the doctor. I don't want to find out if that I have something that needs treatment and multiple visits and hospital stays. I don't even want to know. Like, and that's, I'm kind of joking about it, but yeah, it's sad, but true.
I gotta check out while I'm here then. Oh, yo, I almost forgot. I saw this video the other day. I have to show you this.
Say less.
What? Wait, what? Wait. This video is not available in your country. Wait, is this common in Canada? Is this like a... Is there certain, like, internet rules or copyright rules? Or... I mean, this has happened to me once or twice, so I know what this is, but is it common in Canada that there's videos, like YouTube videos and stuff, that aren't available for whatever reason? Because that doesn't happen too often in America. It's making me wonder now. What is this? Canadians be like. Okay. This was, we were watching what Americans are like in Canada. This is what Canadians are like in Canada, for sure. Very accurate right here.
Oh, hey, bud, how are you now? Great weather we're having, eh? I'm going on a coffee run. You want anything? Did you just say great weather? This is not great. This is horrible. Oh, no, bud. Snow always makes it feel 10 degrees warmer. Wait till it...
What? The snow makes it feel warmer. That's the new most Canadian thing I've ever heard. The snow makes it feel warmer. That is just meta. I like his sleeveless shirt, yet he has gloves on, but no sleeves. Interesting strategy.
Till it's gone, then it'll actually be chilly, eh? You want a ride or something? Oh, I appreciate it, bud, but I'm good. I'm gonna go for a walk and soak it in while I have a chance,
oh
eh?
My gosh. I'm sure Canadians do have a lot higher tolerance.
See ya.
Like for cold. I don't think that's a joke, even though this is an exaggeration. Or what am I saying? This is totally accurate. This is just footage of a Canadian. It's not a skit at all, right? This is just real. But also, what's accurate here is Canadians walk. Canadians walk. Let that sink in for a second. Americans, no. We're driving. We don't, Canadians actually use their two legs, walk around in the cold. It's, it's honestly good. Good for your health. Good for you. But I feel like that's a subtle little thing they added where he's like, no, I'm going to walk. And that's actually a very Canadian thing to do compared to Americans. This one is, 1,135 pounds? Euros? Euros. What 1,000 euros a month gets you in Montreal, or 1,600 Canadian dollars gets you in Montreal. Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
So this is what 1,135 euro a month got us in Montreal, Canada. All bills were included, our rent, our electricity, our water, everything was included. The only thing...
Oh, they have a cat. I actually thought this was going to be like, oh, look how small it is, because of where they are, like in Montreal, and what you can get for $1,000, but this looks totally good, like reasonable. I'm actually shocked that it's only, 1,600 Canadian? About 1,200 American? To live in Montreal.
Thing that weren't included, it was fully unfurnished, so we furnished it ourselves. Otherwise, compared to Ireland, this was such a bargain. I don't think you can find anything in Ireland that has all bills included for that price, Otherwise, it was 1,600 Canadian dollars.
I mean, it's not gigantic, but it's comfortable. Like, you could live there no problem. Like, no complaints. It's just a good apartment. Like, I'm shocked because it's in a big city. And, like, Montreal is nice. Like, I'm surprised it's this cheap.
Which turns out to 1,135.
Oh, there's another bedroom.
And this was our bedroom, and you had like a walk-in closet and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just fantastic with floor-to-ceiling windows. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
Wow. A lot more affordable than I would have thought. I wonder how other Canadian cities compare to that. That seemed reasonable, actually. Toronto's most overrated and underrated places to visit. Oh, a little bit of controversy, maybe. Overrated and underrated Toronto places. Okay.
Here are Toronto's most over and underrated places to visit, part 2.
Okay.
CN Tower. Overrated.
No!
Unless you're doing the edge walk. Everyone should visit at least once, but ticket price.
I was gonna say, like, okay, I'm sure it's absolutely swamped by tourists. Everyone goes to the CN Tower, I'm sure. Seems to be an iconic landmark of Toronto. But how can you... Overrated? Like, but you gotta see it at least once. I think that's what she's saying. Like, maybe it's overrated once you've done it once or twice, but as someone who's never done it, it's like, it's not overrated. It's rated correctly. Like, and it's rated as, if you go to Toronto, you gotta check it out, right?
Prices aren't cheap. It's extra if you want to access the Sky Pod, and the 360 restaurant isn't the city's finest restaurant, so also not worth the price.
What? Don't care. Don't even care. That's not the point. The point is the experience. I'll eat, bad food while getting spun in a circle and need to throw up. It's part of the experience.
Bursey Park, underrated.
Oh, Bursey Park. I have actually never heard of this. Maybe that's why it's underrated. Literally.
This public park has a beautiful dog fountain, and it's right by St. Lawrence Market, an awesome spot surrounded by pretty buildings and good food joints.
Nice.
Graffiti Alley, overrated. The art here is amazing.
No. I've never even heard of this. Like, how can this be overrated? Maybe to people who live in Toronto and can see it every day? But this looks sick. This looks amazing. There's like a graffiti alley. What does that mean? I feel like I gotta look more into this. I'm glad it's in her little TikTok, but it's not overrated to me. I've literally never heard of it.
But when the weather gets nice, best believe it'll be overcrowded with people trying to take pictures for Instagram. Edwards Gardens.
Yeah, I mean, it comes with the territory, but definitely worth seeing. What is this? Edwards Gardens.
Underrated. This is hands down one of the nicest gardens in the city and is a true hidden gem. It has stunning views, a waterfall, and is gorgeous in the fall. Leafs game,
nice.
Overrated. Listen, I would give a lot to...
No! Oh no, she called the Leafs game overrated. No, this is just like, I think I understand what she's getting at, like, but if you have never been to a hockey game, if you've never been in the CN Tower, if you've never seen Graffiti Alley, then, like, this gets completely overruled. No such thing as overrated. Maybe if you're there all the time, maybe you call it overrated. I don't know.
Go watch a live sports game right now, but you'll likely be leaving the arena in disappointment at the end of the night.
What?
Casa Loma, underrated. A historic museum and landmark where you can tour the mansion, gardens, and admire the beautiful architecture.
Cool. I liked the underrated stuff, because I really had never heard of it. And I mean, but I had never heard of some of the overrated stuff too. So I think for Americans, it's all just new. So maybe for Canadians, some of that stuff is overrated. I don't know. Maybe. And finally here we have, do Canadians know that they do this? What?
Something I didn't realise Canadians did, and now that I'm doing until I spoke to my British sisters. Essentially, when Canadians talk, you talk really high and you keep talking high until you finish your point and then you go low. And I was doing this on a call with my sisters the other day and they were like, why are you talking so weird? And I was like,
oh, wow. Do Canadians do this? Talk really high. And then when you're done, you talk low? It's almost like a polite way to have a conversation. Is this true? Like, have I noticed this? I don't know if I've noticed this pattern. It might be true. It honestly kind of makes linguistic sense. Like, then you know when it's your turn to talk, for lack of a better word. Like, you let it be known when you're done talking, because you talk, and done. Or so, and then the next person goes. It's a very polite thing to do. It's like, it's nonverbal, but it's verbal. It's communicating, like, in a polite way when you're done talking. Which seems kind of Canadian.
I was like, what are you going on about? Then I realised I now do it too. I've been around Canadians too long now. It's been 5 months and now I talk like you guys. And I can even do it. I'm even doing it now. It's so funny. Do you guys realise you do this or no?
Interesting. Man, and the longer you stay in Canada, the more you kind of develop the speech pattern you assimilate and become polite, in my opinion, of what that does. But that's fascinating. I thought these were all pretty darn good, actually. Some were actually pretty darn funny, too. And informative. I think this was a good little collection of some of the most popular current TikToks about Canada. Pretty good. I enjoyed it. Anyway, if you enjoyed it as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada and Canadian culture and just stuff in Canada I've never seen, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.